that if he went to the gym after the tournament. But here we go. We're getting into our next series. We're getting into our next game. The lower semifinals are upon us, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Polish Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Chinese Protoss player, the brutal Protoss. It is Firefly. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our lower semifinals. Does look like a June Harvester, for sure, for sure. Except for the hand, like the hand throw, like in Brood, I have to like relook at the sprites in Brood War, but in my mind, it just looked like you know, like a caterpillar mouth sort of thing, where it was like, you know, yeah, like harvesting crops. that's its appearance, if I recall. But here now in HD in StarCraft Evolution, it's just a hand. It's just a hand that like it just drags it across the map, across the ground. Again, I'd have to recheck like Brood War, but it does look very different from what I remember. Actually, you know what? I can just look it up. Brood War Reaver. Yeah, like if you look at the images, like it doesn't. It looks like it's like its teeth and stuff, and it's like its little legs. And it's crawling on the ground. Was it always a hand, or was that like a recent aesthetic choice? I don't know. I need to see like a sprite of the Reaver moving. Regardless, we're getting in. We're getting into our next game. We do have initial opener. It's going to be double gas into double Dragoon here from Firefly. Meanwhile, MaNa back at home opening up a double gate into double Adept. Ooh, into a Robo opener. Interesting. That's going to be a Robo before expansion. Very safe opener here by MaNa. Very safe play here. This Robo, of course, can lead into early game Immortal production, which can work very well against Dragoons. And again, MaNa, of course, here. Oh my god, we're going for the old NGs. As we're going for proxy shield batteries. Proxy's on the way. MaNa does miss the proxy setup. Now, thankfully, MaNa will have access to early game Immortal production. But those shield batteries, they may pose an issue here. They may pose a problem. Shade is denied. Citadel of Vadun on the way. Jesus, going into Zealot legs. And MaNa is cleaned up. MaNa, he's in a bit of trouble here. He's walling up, walling off. Confirms no expansion. He's going for his own Nexus. Just have that shield battery. There we go. Immortal production well underway. That will help. But here come those Dragoons. And MaNa is about to find out the hard way. Dragoons are revealed. Nice force field. Trying to lock down the army. Shield batteries are revealed as well. Despite that, that one Immortal does pack a punch. Takes down the first Dragoon. He gets one. And doesn't quite get the others. Oh, barely will get a second. Barely not. Yeah, the Immortal takes so many hits, so much damage. Immortal goes down. And MaNa's in trouble. MaNa, he's in trouble here. That was an expensive loss. He was out of range of his shield battery. He got a little bit too excited. MaNa finishing up that low ground shield battery. Yo, shield battery versus shield battery. Let's go. More shield batteries on the way. Trying to trade. Once again, just getting bullied back. One shield battery is not quite like the other. As MaNa's shield battery is out of energy. I mean, again, that's just because Firefly has been the aggressor. He's been preserving more of his own energy. The Immortal has arrived, and with the help of the Immortal, MaNa should hold. I'm a little bit surprised that Zealot Legs was never researched. Oh, going into High Templar, never mind. Or even Dark Templar. From here, we can go into Dark Templar instead. There we go. Storm is being researched. Firefly taking into Storm. MaNa does hold onto his natural. Looks down another Dragoon, and now he can clean up the proxy. Whew, okay, now as the dust settles, where exactly are we? Both players are on 2 bases. MaNa does scout. MaNa confirms the researching Temple Archive, so he knows that Storm is on the way. Storm does hit different here from the Brood War side, so Storm is never seen in PvP in SC2, but here in SC2 versus Brood War, Storm, I mean, it can eviscerate this army. Is something to be respected. So a very different dynamic here. This is why, like, quote-unquote mirror matchups don't really exist in StarCraft Evolution. Like, SC2 Protoss and Brood War Protoss, they play out so differently. Same with, like, SC2 Zerg, Brood War Zerg, Terran and Protoss as well. They are completely different races. They use similar units, but they're only similar. As MaNa does push in, he has those force fields. Locks down 2 of the Dragoons. Boys are being pulled. He gets one, he gets both Dragoons. Both Dragoons go down. Likewise, catching out a High Templar. Storm is ready. And he needs a little bit more time. Oh, one High Templar goes down. Needs a couple more seconds. 73, 74, 75. Oh! Oh, good. He has a Storm. Yeah, he has 1 Storm available. He's coming in with a Storm drop. Going for the sentries. Oh, the pre-split. Let's go. Does pre-split. The spread. Storm takes down 1 sentry. Ooh, takes down all 3. Oh, all 3 sentries go down. MaNa came in too soon. He's being forced back. MaNa's being forced back, but he's getting a lot of economic damage. Takes down another Dragoon. There's 2 Dragoons left. As MaNa does kite away. Behind this reinforcing with more Immortals, extra gateways. Warpins are delayed, but he's still pushing in. Oof, taking a lot of damage though. We'll lose another Immortal. Adepts, they do shade past the army. Some rough SimCity though. Likewise, once again, going for the mineral line. But MaNa, he has to get out of here. He does not have enough. He cannot keep pushing in. That Immortal's getting low. Oof. Does get 1 more Dragoon, but the last Firefly holds. Firefly, he does hold on. Adepts, they shade past the army to go for the mineral line. They can one-shot probes. And they will. They one-shot workers here, crippling the economy. MaNa's just all over Firefly. And behind this, MaNa taking into nothing quite yet. The Twilight Council's still in the way. Working towards Blink, I would imagine. But now he backs off. He backs off. Firefly holds. Whew, he does hold on, but the economy's in shambles. Here at Firefly, he's stuck on 33 workers. We can see MaNa on full 2-base saturation, and now getting a 3rd. 3rd base is on the way. You could argue that this 3rd base is late. I would agree. MaNa, he was banking up resources, so MaNa, he was just hyper fixated on his control, where his macro did lapse. So a bit of a lapse in the macro from MaNa. Storm drop coming in. Let's go. Storm does hit the main. Oh my god. You see the pre-split here out of MaNa. Where's the Storm? I mean, still denying mining time. Oh my god. Does try to split. Oh, there's a Storm on the morphing and Stalkers. Does do some hull damage, but it's going to be a one-way trip. The shuttle goes down. High Templar as well. Suddenly not as worth it there for Firefly. Likewise, Immortal drop towards the natural. This time with a Prism. Ooh, shuttle taking. Oh no! Oh, Prism goes down. Alas, MaNa, he does overextend. Again, didn't respect the range on those Dragoons. Did not expect the range. Massive loss for MaNa. Suddenly, the advantage that he once had is not as there anymore. He should have 4 Immortals, down to 2. Behind this, making or going for double robo production, double Immortals at a time. 2 at a time. 3rd base fully saturated. Firefly not too far behind. We have a game. We have a game. We have a back and forth. As MaNa's being active. Going for the Bay, going for Disruptors, I would imagine. Dragoons, they catch up the army. Yeah, Immortals lagging behind. Storm's going to be coming in. Oof. Storm with the Stalkers. Yeah, Blink is not available. Went into charge instead. Zells their buying time. Immortals, they trade well. Yeah, they shut down most, if not all, the Dragoons. Oh my god, the Immortals, they survive. Oh my god, they barely do survive. Much more efficient trade there by MaNa. He preserves the Immortals. He shuts down the Dragoons. And MaNa, he's going for it. He's sending it. It's a breakthrough. There's no storm. Sorry, there's one storm available. Storm pops up in a couple of seconds. There's going to be another storm. But the Zells, they close the gap. They close the distance. Those Chargelets, they just zone back the Dragoons. And MaNa has done it. He started stepping forward. Going for the remaining Dragoons. Storm of the main army. Immortals, they do hold the ramp. More Chargelets coming in. The Prism is here to reinforce. There's that one DT, but there's detection. There's the Observer. The Observer's in position. GG gets called. MaNa overwhelms, and MaNa takes game number 1. Whew. GG. MaNa does take a lead. A very intense game. Very intense. GG, well played. MaNa does take the first game, and now we're getting into game number 2. Getting into game 2. And MaNa looking quite strong, looking quite powerful here in tonight's broadcast. He already took down Classic. Now he's up against Firefly. At least in the PvP, MaNa is popping off. We'll see if he can keep going. We'll see if he can keep this going and make it to the finals. Again, we have 2 series left. 2 series remaining. Getting everyone involved. And game 2 is Amygdala, one of the larger maps in the map pool. MaNa, he is going to be playing Brood War Protoss this time, so the roles have been reversed. We have Brood War Protoss out of MaNa, SE2 Protoss out of Firefly. Let's go. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our Polish Protoss player. We have our red Protoss representing Team Liquid, who are leading the series 1-0. It is MaNa. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss himself. The Chinese Protoss, the SC2 Protoss. It is Firefly. We go. As we are jumping into our next game, into potentially the final game of the series. The pressure is now on Firefly to bounce back, to recover. We'll see if he can. Likewise, I'm excited to see how MaNa makes use of the Brood War Protoss race. I'll be honest, going for Storm felt very unique from the side of Firefly. Maybe I haven't seen enough PvP, but I would imagine that typically the go-to response is to go Dragoon Reaver. I feel like that is the stock standard kind of composition of PvP in StarCraft Evolution. We'll see if MaNa goes for Storm again, as he does open up single gas. So gate expand out of MaNa, very economic start. Considering the aggression of Firefly in game 1, this is a bold move. This feels very bold. This feels very risky here from MaNa. We'll see if he can get away with it. As Firefly does hide his probe. He does hide his worker. He avoids the scouting probe of MaNa. And yep, proxy pylon. So MaNa, greedy economic build. Firefly, going for the proxy. Now, this could be a proxy Robo, could be a proxy Stargate, could even be a proxy Twilight Council. We're waiting for the Cybercore. Cybercore is about to complete. Once it does, then we can throw down some tech. MaNa does scout the full wall here at the ramp. Now he knows something is wrong. He's now aware that something is wrong, something is amiss. He has denied the scouts, and he has to figure out what the hell's happening. Zeld first. Meanwhile, we confirm double Robo. Oh my, okay. That I was not expecting. Proxy double Robo out of Firefly. I have never seen this before. I imagine double Robo means Immortal and Prism at the same time. Could be making an Immortal and a Warp Prism at the same time to be able to micro, to be able to have that additional control as well. We can see that MaNa, he's scouring the southern half of the map. He's looking for the proxy. He does not check the northern half. Not yet. So MaNa, he gambles a little bit here. He does gamble incorrectly, checking the half of the map where the proxy could be. Does check the center. Behind this, shield battery on the ramp, opening up Dragoon. And now he's checking the northern half. Does check the third location. Keeps going. Fanning out. He's going for the, yeah, he's going for the Zarnaga. There we go. Spots a Zealot, spots the Adept. Very suspect. And now he sees. Yeah, now he confirms double Robo. There's a Prism. There's Immortal, as we did mention. And this is going to be difficult to deal with. He's going for the pylons, but there's two pylons. It should remain powered. Killing one is still going to be a nice pickoff, though, and he should get one. Yeah, one pylon goes down. MaNa pulls away. Behind this, they bleed out 3 probes. And at least now he's aware of what's coming. And ideally, he wants to try to focus on the shuttle. Sorry, the Prism. You know what I mean. Prism into the mineral line. Dragoons, they do trigger the shields. They zone back the army. Going for his own Stargate response. I love it. Stargate should be for the Corsair or the Scout. Oh no! Oh my god. Prism does overextend. Does overextend. Takes down the Zealots. Prism taking a lot of hits. But last we have additional Immortals here in that steam, in the vents. Probe across the map. Spots all the Immortals. He cannot fight this head on. He needs those shield batteries. Does pull away. No shield battery on the low ground. Just now beginning. Oh, that's going to be a problem. There's a Scout. Scout's on the way. And again, the Scout will help. Our boys are being pulled. They do a great job buffering. Going for the shuttle. Singularity charge is just now finishing up. That is Dragoon range. And remember, there's no anti-air here. That Scout is going to completely shut that Prism down. Now, the Scout can kill the Prism. Can the Immortals still win head-on in that ground fight? Making 2 Immortals at a time, that is so many Immortals. It might not matter that there's no War Prism, I'll be honest. Shields are being triggered. Yep, Scout has arrived. We have to pull the boys. We have to pull the boys here to fight this head-on. Prism does fall. Nice pickoff. I say we have to pull the boys. The Immortals. Oh god, yeah, they can. They hold their own. Yo, the Scout raining down on the Immortal. Gets one. Gets one. Oh god, please add a lot of Dragoons. Gets a second. Gets a third. And there's 2 Immortals left. And MaNa, he's holding. MaNa, he's holding. There we go. The boys are being pulled. Takes down another Immortal. Down to 2. 2 Immortals left, soon to be down to 1. Second Scout comes in. And down to 0. GG gets called. Whew. MaNa, he does hold on. He does survive. And MaNa will take the 2-0. GG. Whew. Oh my god, that was a very intense game. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, congratulations here. Congratulations, MaNa. He will claim the series, will advance on to the grand finals, and we are getting ready for those finals. We're getting ready here for what comes next for that PvT. It's going to be a best of 5 between MaNa and Beyond. That was intense, but the Hero Scout came into play. It's beautiful. Wasn't doing much anti-ground damage, of course. Was tickling the Immortals, but it was all about the anti-air. Sniped the Prism, and that was game. it was almost game. I mean, again, I was still fearful for the Dragoons and with how they would handle themselves against Mass Immortal. But the kiting was good enough. He had some Zealots to tank some shots. He did pull the voids when necessary. And with that, MaNa, he is our second finalist. And now we're getting ready for the grand finals. Here we go. TVP, Beyond versus MaNa. And is MaNa aware how cheesy Beyond has been? Is he aware?